If you get in a car wreck these days, it's a nightmare. Because it's your word versus their word, and then there's the insurance company, and they gotta figure out whose fault it is.
Your Honor, I object.
You would!
Bastard!
Hey, quiet!
And all these different things. But if you have a dash cam, it can make a huge difference. And that's why today I'm gonna review the Pelsee S3 Touch. Now, I personally have been using a different Pelsee cam in my vehicle for months, but it costs twice as much. So that's why today we're gonna figure out, does this work for the average person, or should you spend double and get something like this? So let's talk about some basics. I want you to understand what exactly comes in the box.
What's in the box?
And what are the specs, right? So inside of the box, you're of course gonna get the Pelsee S3 Touch, hence touchscreen on the back. Now, this is gonna also provide you with a 128 gigabyte SD card so that you can put this directly in, plug it in, and immediately use it out of the box. Now, this guy uses the Sony Starvis sensor. That's gonna be important to you because it offers high resolution, it prevents low noise, and it's good in low light environments. So if you're recording at night and something happens, that is gonna be very helpful for you. In addition, this guy also provides voice commands. You're gonna get the rear camera. This is gonna be a 1080p rear-facing camera. So understand that of course you have the SD card that you can pull out to get those videos off, or you can take advantage of their app via Wi-Fi and pull the videos off that way as well. So I mentioned it earlier, but it's not my first experience with a Pelsee camera. This is the P12 Pro Max. This is made by Pelsee. So this is a little bit different look, right? This is a mirror dash cam. So this sits on top of my mirror and essentially creates a full digital display. The cool thing about this is of course the wow factor, but I'm looking at the rear, I can flip to the front, I can split the screen, I can split the screen again. So this offers a lot of visibility for me as far as seeing out the sides, the front, and the rear of the vehicle. And then of course I can turn the screen off and use it as just a classic rear view mirror. All right, so to give you the opportunity to see the S3 Touch, I've got it up and running right now. You can turn the screen on and off. You can either touch it to do it, right? Or it does offer voice commands, and I can switch between the front screen and that back screen. Show front camera.
The front camera's view is displayed.
Show rear camera.
The rear camera's view is displayed.
Take a picture. Voice commands in this thing work surprisingly well.
What is that? Okay. Please turn it off. Press.
The menu's all in Korean now. I don't know what to press.
I wanted to test it while I was driving, not sitting still in like a driveway or something like that, because there is going to be road noise. And in my car, there's more than probably the average car just because I've got mud terrain tires on my vehicle. So let's quickly talk about installation. No big surprises here. I think you're going to understand how it works. I've already inserted the 128 gigabyte SD card. So that is going to be already in there. And then from here, you've got two pieces, and all that happens is you take this guy, and these are going to slide together. So it's going to lock into place. To mount it, all I'm going to do is simply pull this, move this to lock it into place, and then I'm going to aim it at whatever direction I want. So let's talk up the power cable real quick. So you've got a USB, and then it also comes with a cigarette lighter adapter. So you can either plug this directly into USB, or you can go with the cigarette lighter adapter. And then this is going to physically plug into the camera. Now coming off the camera, you're going to see two wires here. The first is obviously running to power. The second one is going to be so that you can run it to that back camera if you choose to use it. Now, as far as mounting the wire itself, if you have it coming out of here, a lot of times you're going to run it and hide it up along and so forth here, just like I did for this one. And they do provide you a shim to be able to tuck that wire up behind here if you want, or they offer these wire clips. They're going to be like 3M sticky tape on the back, and then you can just clip the wire into it if you want to go that route. So it gives you a couple different options depending on where you're trying to get it. From there, you just have to decide, do you want to run it down your driver's side or your passenger side and kind of hide it under all this trim to get it to your back windshield.
So if we're viewing the cameras, I wanted to put them side by side so you can see driving down the road. You'll notice the front-facing cameras, the only difference is contrast when we're looking at this. Now, when we flip to the back cameras, this is where you can notice that contrast difference a little bit more. But as far as like clarity, pretty good clarity on both of these cameras. Now let's flip over to the night mode. In the night mode, you're going to notice actually that the Pelsee S3 Touch, I think, gets a little bit more clarity, right? It's picking up a little bit more of the light and the dark, and I feel like it's a little bit easier to view. And then when you flip to the back camera, it's doing a lot of the same. You can see that you're actually picking up much more of the light in comparison to the P12 Pro Max. So even though it's half the price, it's doing a lot of the same work.
So let's take a second to talk about pricing on both of these cameras. So I'm going to start you on the more expensive of the two, and that's the P12 Pro Max. That's the mirror cam that I currently have in my Jeep. So you're going to understand, the cost on that one is $269.99. So a little bit more expensive when it comes to dash cams. And if you're like me, the first place you're going to go is say, let me check the price on Amazon to see how much that same camera would be. and it'll be exactly $269.99 there as well. Now, when it comes to the Pelsee S3 Touch, you can see that this is clearly half the price. So at $113.99 on Amazon, as you're seeing here, you could get that camera. And I think from a lot of things we saw, it does a lot of the same work. It's really just preference on what style and look to it you want. And just to keep with that same theme, if you jump over to their website and you want to purchase it direct through them in case you ever need anything in the future or warranty issues or concerns like that, it's the exact same price tag there as well. So if you're like me, typically you're going to shop the main website and then you go look at Amazon, or some of you might be able to get it to you quicker. You'll find that pricing is going to be the exact same on both of the sites. So let's quickly walk you through some pros and some cons. So pro-wise, this guy is roughly at $100. Not that bad compared to like something like this, which is like
$100 billion.
Spending roughly around $100 is not a bad price point, especially for some of the things that you're going to get. Some of those things that you're going to get is going to be that 4K front recording, so some nice clean clarity. You're going to get that Sony Starburst 2 sensor, so it is going to pick up pretty well at nighttime. So when you're in those low light situations, you're still going to be able to get that, because the last thing you want is some blurry video or image where you're like, something happened, but I can't really prove it, right? You're going to get that color night vision and, of course, voice command, which I tested driving around, which worked surprisingly well. I was quite content with that. And then it's a compact design, so it's not this massive thing. So if you have it mounted right up behind your rear view mirror, chances are you're not really going to notice it that much. Now, let's talk about the cons to this. The cons would be first your rear camera. So your rear camera is only 1080p. It's not the end of the world. It's just not the best clarity that you could get. But at this price point, you're not doing that bad. It is a smaller display. It's a smaller display in comparison to something like the P12 Pro Max. That's what I'm currently using in my car, which is that mirrored camera, right? So it's a much larger display that you can swip to, go to those options and do all those different things. The last part is parking mode. Parking mode is a plus if you can take advantage of it. However, this does offer it. However, they don't offer you the hardwire kit with it. So if you want the hardwire kit, you got to spend the extra $25.99 to get it. For those of you not aware of what parking mode is it means that if that's hardwired into the battery, it's always getting power. So if somebody was to back into your car, one of your cameras might pick it up. Or if they were to sideswipe your car and your car was parked somewhere, it would pick it up. So it's a really nice feature to have, but you got to buy the hardwire kit additionally, and then you'll have to install it. All right, so let's quickly talk about who is this really for, right? So I would argue that this is for somebody who just wants an affordable dash cam that can provide recording of everything that they're doing while they're driving, right? If you're just looking for something simple, something basic with good features and decent specs, this is a great item to be on. Now, if you're someone who's looking for a much larger display or something that sits on top of the mirror, right, for that more clean aesthetic, something you don't have suction cup to the glass, then its Big Brother might be the best option for you. But of course, this is going to cost you 2 times the money, so you have to think about that. Would I rather spend $100 and maybe that's, I'm entry level, I'm trying to get into this, but I want to buy something decent so I don't immediately have to replace it a year later? Or do I want to spend a little bit of extra money because I like a certain look to it, or it fits a niche car? For me, this fits a niche car because I take the top and the doors off of my vehicle. I don't want to have to take this off the window, lock it up, and then get back in, put it back on, take it out, that over and over again. This makes a lot more sense for my specific vehicle. So that's why I was currently using this one. But if I drove a Honda Civic, a Honda Accord, a Toyota Camry, an F-150, you name it, something like this makes perfect sense. All right, so what's the final verdict? I would argue at the price point of $100, this packs quite a few different features. You know, a 4K front camera, a Sony Starburst 2 sensor for low light shots, you get color night vision, and you get voice commands. Voice commands work really well. And you get a nice clean display, right? It's not humongous, but it's also not tiny.
One simple request, and that is to have sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
So if it's something you're interested in, I'll throw a link down in the description. If you watched that video and said, I'm kind of interested to learn a little bit more about this guy, what you're currently running, I'll also throw a link down in the description as well. In that video, I compare this to just like a classic dash cam so that you can kind of understand the differences. So if you find yourself in a niche vehicle, or you just like the idea of spending a little bit more money and getting something a little bit bigger, a little bit more extravagant, feel free to check out that video as well. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Later, guys!